destined. I will not have it stolen from me again. Tarnished. Thy strength befits a crown.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a cool build I made that can use all 7 of these unique weapons. Everything here was done on NG Plus and with the same stats you see here on the right. You see we've got 60 Vigor, 54 Strength which turns into 80 when we two-hand our weapon, 80 Dexterity, and 23 Faith which when we boost Faith in our Wondrous Physic turns into 33, allowing us to use Hallow Shibiri if we need to. For our first setup here we've got Ghiza's Wheel, then we've got a Cane Sword for Seppuku, Frenzy Flame Seal for buffs and incantations, and a Twin Bird Kite Shield for more damage with low on health. And then for headpieces, for every other setup we're going to go Madness and then Blood Loss and then Poison. This is the only one where we'll go Madness, Poison, and then Blood Loss, so just keep that in mind. And we've also got the Radagon armor. For talismans, we've got the Red Feathered Branch Sword, Shard of Alexander, Kindred of Wrath's Exaltation, and Lord of Blood's Exaltation. And in our physic, we've got the Faith Knot tier and Winged Crystal tier. For our next setup, we've got the Hand of Malenia. Everything here stays the same. We'll finish on the Mushroom Crown. Then for armor, we've got the Caden armor, and we're the Bloodhound Knight gauntlets and the Bloodhound Knight greaves. And for talismans, we boost consecutive attacks, and then we end on the poison. And then the physic, we keep the faith tier, and then we change the wing tier to the consecutive attack one. And for our next setup, we've got the Axe of Godrick. Keep everything the same here again. And then for armor, we've got the Banished Knight armor, Banished Knight gauntlets, and Banished Knight greaves. And for talismans, we're basically going to go back to the same talisman setup we had a second ago. It'll look like this. And then your physic, you keep everything you see here in your physic. And that's the setup for the Axe of Godrick. And then for the Lion Greatbow, we use 2 because they stack for more damage. And then for armor, I wore the champion set. And then for talismans, keep this the same. Switch this to the Arrow Sting talisman, and then we finish on poison. And then in the physic, you just keep that exactly the same in the physic. And for our next setup, we've got the Bolt of Gransax. Switch this back to the shield. And then for armor, I didn't wear a chest piece. I wore the Banded Manchettes and the Duelist Greaves. And for talismans, we switch this to the Godfrey icon, switch this to the Lightning Scorpion charm, and then when we do our buffs, we switch the poison to the Shard of Alexander after we inflict the poison. And that's what this looks like. And then our physic, we switch the Winged Crystal Tear to more lightning damage. And for our next setup, we've got the Dragon King's Cragblade. Keep everything else the same here. Or the Fingerprint armor. And then for talismans, switch this to the Shard of Alexander because charging it doesn't really add any damage. And then switch this to the Kindred of Wrath's, that's what we'll finish on. And that's what that will look like. And again, you'll switch Winged Crystal Tear to lightning damage. And for our last setup, we go with the Magma Blades. switch this to Rotten Gravekeeper. We unequip this. Don't use gloves, and then we use the Rotten Duelist Greaves, and then we stack consecutive attack damage. And that's what that looks like. And again, you switch the Winged Crystal Tear to more damage with consecutive attacks, and that's that setup. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. Now onto the buffs.
Why wouldst thou come?